morning, Mr. William. And what a beautiful morning it is. Mountains. Good morning, wifey. So, I'm working on the second part of video from lakes, and this time I will try to do a voiceover with this microphone I have here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, back to the story again. My dear viewers, it appears that we are about to embark on a new adventure. As Mrs. Peekaboo, Mr. William and I enjoyed a delightful breakfast with a breathtaking view of Windermere, the weather appeared to be on our side with bright sunshine and a light breeze. However, the bitter cold of the night had left its mark on the terrain, which was frozen solid from the overnight frost. Despite this, we ventured forth in our trusty vehicle and made our way towards the Coniston Water. The journey was one of awe and splendor. With patchy clouds building up in the distance, we found ourselves in the lap of nature, feeling nothing short of magical. And at last we found the perfect spot at the Tarns near the Tom Heights. So we have the Tarns. That's over there. Yeah. Holme Fell should be over there. Mr. William was in good hands, I had no doubt, on a pram-friendly walk around the Tarns, and I was determined to make the most of my day. And so, with my heart full of courage and my backpack full of fortifying egg and cress sandwiches and tea, I set my sights on Holme Fell, because that particular Wainwright had caught my eye in the map. Now, for those who are uninitiated, Wainwrights are fells named after the great British fell walker Alfred Wainwright, and hillbacking is the noble pursuit of climbing as many hills as possible, preferably all 214 of them in the Lake District. Holme Fell, it must be said, is a true gem among Lakeland's lesser heights. Mr. Wainwright himself once noted that these hills, though lacking in elevation, make up for it in ruggedness. Make no mistake, dear viewer, climbing this hill was no walk in the park. The lower tops were defended by a tangle of tough vegetation, and the ruggedness of the slopes meant that a small hill could be just as challenging as a much larger one. But I was undaunted. With my trusty summit journal in hand, I climbed onward and upward. Fortunately, a charming path was available to me, winding its way north of the summit, starting at Yew Tree Farm, and path slanted upwards, mostly among trees, until I reached Askdale Gap on the ridge. From there, I made quick work of reaching the top. The highest point was a platform of naked rock weathered into pockets of small pebbles. It was a sight to behold. After a lovely luncheon on the summit, I called Mrs. Peekaboo and arranged to meet her down in the valley. Another Wainwright backed, and noted into my sunny journal. Another adventure conquered. That's a good sandwich. As I made my way down the hill, I stumbled upon a few quarries and a pub. After a considerable amount of refreshment, I set off to explore the Cathedral Cave, which was aptly named for its spectacular cavern in its first chamber. This whole landscape has been shaped by industry, with slate quarries and copper mines dotting the Tilburthwaite and surrounding areas. Records of quarrying dated back to 16th century, with the Little Langdale quarries booming during the 19th century due to high demand for slate during the housing boom. The slate was extracted using explosive-packed holes in the rock face and then riven and dressed on site. Finished products were transported down the valley by horse and cart and later by railway across the country. Beatrix Porter even purchased one of these quarries in 1929 and donated it to the National Trust. This is Cathedral Cave, and it's quite huge. Slate, a metamorphic rock formed from layers of ash and dust spewed out by volcanoes millions of years ago, proved to be an excellent material for roofing and building due to its water and wind resistance as well as its ease of splitting. And with that, my journey for the day had come to an end. As the sun descended below the horizon, signaling the end of the day, I found myself reflecting on the splendid journey I had undertaken. I had triumphantly backed a Wainwright, scaling heights that would have made even the hardiest of mountaineers quiver in their boots, and what was not all, dear viewer, I had also delved deep into the mysteries of a slate mine, discovering hidden treasures that lay buried beneath the earth's crust. And so, with a contented sigh, I bid adieu to the day, eagerly anticipating the adventures that awaited me in the morrow.